Hello, yogis. It's Jenny Brown, and I'm here at my home in my little home yoga studio in my Arizona room, making this video for you. It's March 22nd, 2020. So we're amid the coronavirus epidemic or pandemic, and it's very interesting times. And personally, we've been at home a lot. Both of my boys are at home. Wyatt's out of school. So we've been doing a lot during the week, trying to keep a consistent routine. Jason's been working from home, so we're all here all the time. So as I'm making this video, Jason is attempting to have the boys occupied inside. So hopefully we don't get any interruptions. I don't know about you, but I have certainly been feeling more stress, more anxiety, more uncertainty, and it's been helpful to come to my yoga mat and to move my body to release some of the stress and to come into my breath and into the moment to help to ground myself. And to remind myself it's just one breath at a time, one day at a time right now. And so even though we're all social distancing and we're not seeing each other in person, I'm really thankful for technology that I can FaceTime with my family. My sister just had a new baby in Boston, so we've been doing a lot of video chatting. And we can do things like post yoga videos, and hopefully you can do this at home, and I hope that you'll maybe leave me a comment or something, because I really love being with you, and I miss you all a lot, being at the yoga studio and practicing with you. There's no replacing that, but I hope that this practice will help you to flow and kind of release some of that anxiety, enjoy moving your body, and then we'll take it down and ground ourselves at the end and kind of be ready for whatever challenges are to come, knowing that we're grounded within ourselves and that we have what we need. So I love you and I miss you, and I hope you enjoy this practice. Okay, yogis, let's do some yoga. For this practice, you might like to have a block if you have one of those at home. If not, that's okay. I can give you some modifications. And then also a blanket or a towel folded will also come in handy. All right, so we're going to begin in child's pose. So come to your hands and your knees and place your big toes together. Let your knees go wide, probably nearly as wide as your mat, and let your body sit towards your heels. And you might even take your hands behind your calves and kind of smooth the flesh of the calves back to clear some room for the knee joints to close. Let your chest relax down towards the floor. And then if you do have that block, place the block underneath your forehead on whatever height works best in your body in this pose. So you can change that. And if you don't have a block, you can take two fists and stack them and put your forehead onto your fists. So as you come onto your block here, allow your hips to ground towards your heels. Feel your shoulders rest away from your ears. And feel the very middle of your forehead connecting to whatever, to the block, to your fists, and let the head rest. Let it feel heavy. Let the body relax towards the earth. And feel your body. Take a moment to notice where it's connecting to the floor. Take a moment to notice the breath moving through the body.
Notice how you're feeling, mood-wise, emotionally. How are you feeling? And meet the answer without judgment. So noticing and accepting whatever comes up. Maybe it's some anxiety, some worry, some stress. Maybe you feel overwhelmed, uncertain. Or maybe it's a more positive feeling. Whatever it is, notice. And know that asking that question and not having an answer come up for you is okay too. That is an answer, and that's okay. So you can not even know how you're feeling, and that's okay. That's an answer. And so if you've identified something, as you breathe here, feel into your body and notice, what does it feel like, that emotion, that mood? Is there a spot within your body that you feel it most? And what are the qualities of the physical sensation? So, is it tight or open? Is it soft or hard? Is it fast or slow? Is it heavy or light? So again, we observe that sensation without judgment. The benefit of this mindfulness practice lies in you simply getting in touch with what's going on in the moment. Simply the act of slowing down and asking the question is so beneficial. Remembering that there's no right or wrong answer, and maybe no answer at all. But you've taken the time to ask, which is the good thing. So yogis, enjoy one more very deep breath here, letting it go all the way in. Breathe towards your low back and all the way out. Good. And then with your next inhale, gently raise the body up to hands and knees. You can move your block out of the way for now. And we're going to come to sit next. So here's where you might want to have a folded blanket. So I had mine in studio fold first, and then I fold it in half so that it's nice and high. So I'm going to place that down. And bring my sit bones right onto it and take Sukhasana pose. So you're going to cross right in the middle of your shins. Gently bring a flex to your feet and let your knees relax down towards your ankles. If the knees are a little bit lifted, that's okay. You could sit up even higher to accommodate that, getting your knees in line with your hips, maybe 2 blankets or 2 towels folded. When you get there, rest your hands on your lap. And you can close your eyes or keep them open, whatever you're comfortable with. Take your shoulders and with an inhale, shrug them up towards your ears. And then exhale, roll them down your back. Good. Breathe in, deep inhale, shrugging the shoulders way up. And then exhale, roll them down your back and broaden your chest. One more time, deep breath in, shrugging shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down your back. Feel the shoulder blades draw down your back and broaden. Release your hands towards the floor and turn your palms to face up. And with a breath in, Take your arms up overhead. And as you ground through your sit bones, stretch up and reach through your fingers, lengthen the sides of your waist. And then exhale, turn your palms back down and press the air towards the floor as the crown of the head lifts. Do it again. Deep inhale, reach your arms, ground through your sit bones. Exhale, this time bend your elbows, interlace your fingers, and flip your palms. Now breathe in, press your palms up, and feel your biceps squeeze in towards your ears. And then exhale, stay tall through your side waist as the arms lower and the shoulders relax. Do it again with your breath. So smooth breath in through both nostrils. Breathe in, gather the air. Exhale, interlace hands, give them a flip. Breathe in and lift through all four sides of your torso. Lift out of your low back. And then exhale, release your arms down to your sides. Good. Go again, please. Inhale, reach the arms up. Big breath in through your nose. Exhale, bend elbows and interlace. Flip palms. Breathe in and lift. Feel the ribs lift and expand. And then exhale, release the arms down to your sides. Good. This time, inhale, take your right arm up. And then exhale, crawl your right fingertips over, your left, and stretch to the side. Now as you're leaning over there to your left, ground down through your right sit bones. So we feel the earth grounding below us, and then stretch long through the side waist, reach out through the fingers. Bend the elbow, take it behind your head, and press the back of your head into your hand, and feel the elbow rotate up, ground through your right sit bone. And then breathe in and come back up to center. Lift both arms way up. And then exhale, your right hand comes down. Crawl the fingertips away. Ground through that right sit bone into your blanket or the mat. And stretch through your left arm. Breathing in, feeling lots of length through the side body. Move this bottom shoulder away from your ear. Exhales take you slightly deeper, perhaps. Feeling lots of space in the ribs. And then breathe in, come back up. Lift both arms up. And exhale, take your hands down to your heart. Bring your hands to your knees now. And with an inhale, pull back on your knees. Feel your sternum reach forward as your shoulders drop back. Look up slightly. And then exhale, round your back. Now feel your navel draw gently in. Push the weight towards the back of the sit bones. Let your head hang down. Do it again. Deep inhale. Pull gently with your hands. Feel the chest broaden and open. Bend the elbows back. And then exhale, round, drawing in at the belly. Really broadening through your middle back. A couple more times with your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Take it forward and up. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to neutral seat. All right, we're going to come to stand from there, yogis. So you can push your blanket off to the side and come to stand at the top of your mat in Tadasana pose. So give yourself a little space between your feet. Make them parallel to one another. Close your eyes for this and ground yourself. So first, feel the feet touching the floor, and you can shift your weight forward and back so you feel the weight shifting from the balls of the feet to the heels. Find a place where you feel like it's in the center. And feel the whole foot connecting down, and imagine that you had roots growing down deeply into the earth from the entire surface of your foot. Ground down. And then from that connection and that grounding into the floor, lift up tall through the crown of your head. So push your feet down to get taller. You'll feel your hips stack over your ankles and roll your shoulders back and feel the chest broaden and the shoulder girdle align with the hips. Turn your palms slightly forward and we'll roll through some sun salutations. So with your inhale, draw the arms all the way up. Stamp down through your feet to lift your arms. And then exhale, fold from your hips. Now a soft bend in the knees is welcomed and encouraged if needed. Head releases down. Take your hands to your shins if needed. Inhale, take your heart forward and your shoulder blades down your back. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and move into plank position. Take a deep inhale there, press the floor away and lift at your navel. And exhale, you may lower your knees, bend your elbows back, put your chest to the floor in front of your hands. Point your toes behind you, move your shoulders away from your ears, and inhale, lift up through your heart. And then exhale, roll it back down. With a breath in, press up through your hands and knees. Curl your toes under, and exhale, lift your hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. So it always feels nice to move a bit with this. So bend into one knee at a time, letting the weight shift back and forth between the feet. Let your hips rock back and forth a little bit. Just stretching out the body, moving. Movement is helpful to release any kind of anxious feelings or tension that is building up inside of us. And then center yourself, and now take your attention to the hands. And feel the connection of the entire hand down into the floor. And feel again as if you had roots growing down through the entire surface of your hands. Grow them deeply into the earth. And as they grow down, feel the sit bones lift up and back in opposition. If you find your back rounding when you do it, bend your knees so you can press your hands down and lift your sit bones even more. We want a long spine. One more breath here, all the way in and all the way out. Good. Now let's breathe in and prepare to come forward. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward, and walk or hop if that's in your practice. Breathe in, take your heart forward. Exhale, fold all the way down, relax your neck. Breathe in, stamp down through your feet. Grow your roots long into the floor. Inhale, grow your hands high into the sky. And exhale, lower your arms to your sides. Good, let's go again, guys. Breathe in and take the arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Bend your knees as much as needed. And then breathe in. Take the heart forward. Broaden your collarbones. Exhale, bend your knees. Plant your hands. Move back to plank. Take a breath there. Firm the thighs. Draw the heart forward. Exhale. You may leave your knees up or put them down. Come down, chaturanga. Cobra pose on your inhale. Lift your heart and move the shoulders way back in space. Exhale, release down to the mat. Breathe in, press up to your hands and knees. Curl your toes under, and exhale, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. As you breathe in, the roots in your hands deepen as the hips lift. As you exhale, firm the heels towards the mat, but likely they don't touch, and that's okay. With an inhale, start to think about moving forward. Lift your hips high. Exhale, draw your belly in and bend your knees. Look forward and walk, or you can hop your feet forward. Breathe in, take your heart forward. Exhale, fold down over your legs. Let your head release. And then breathe in, rise up to stand. Reach all the way up, get super tall. Exhale, take your hands down to your sides. Okay, one more Surya A, please. Inhale, lift up through the arms. Exhale, fold from your hips. Inhale, take your heart forward. Exhale, step back to plank and lower down. So this time you may hover if you like or take it all the way to the floor. Breathe in, up dog if you feel ready with thighs lifted, or repeat cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good work. Planting firm through the hands, lifting high through the pubic bone. But then feel the tailbone curl down towards the pubic bone a little bit so the low belly engages and you're protecting your low back. All right, guys, step your left foot a little more center towards midline. And inhale, take your right leg up and back. And as you plant your hands down and grow the roots, Lift high through that right heel. Take another deep inhale. Get even longer from hands to heel. And then exhale, bend the knee forward, step through to your hands. Feel the feet squeeze together on the mat. Bend the back knee a little bit. Squeeze your sit bones together inside of your butt. And then roll up. Inhale, high lunge. 2 arms lift to the sky. Or maybe take your hands to your hips if that's too much, or even to your heart. So lifting up. Feel the front of the pelvis here draw up towards the low ribs. Feel the heart lift towards the ceiling. Feel your shoulder blades lengthen down your back and the tailbone reach towards the floor. And keeping all that, start to firm your left thigh back. So it does not have to straighten all the way, but the firming is happening as that line of energy is lifting up and you're feeling a great stretch through the front of the left leg and the left psoas muscle. One more inhale, reaching way up. And then exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Lower down through your left knee, and then you're going to spin it so that you're going to spin your shin over so that the shin is parallel to the front edge and the back edge of the mat. Now let your seat come down towards that heel, and you might need to scoot your right foot back a little bit to close the stance. The right knee is pressing open towards the toes. Take your right arm, upper arm, and place it down against the inner knee. Reach the fingertips towards the floor, and inhale, take your left arm up into the sky. So feeling stretch through the groin on your right leg, stretch through the arms, so from your heart, radiate the arms apart. Keep the shoulders released away from the ears. Take another deep breath in like that. And then exhale, turn back down to the ground. Keep both hands on the inside now of this right foot. Plant them. Spin your left foot back. Curl the toes under and lift the leg up as if it were coming to plank. So you have 2 hands on the inside of your right foot. To modify, if the floor feels far away, this is a really great place to use a block if you have one handy. So 2 hands on the inside. Feel the outer right hip pull back. With your inhale, straighten your right leg any amount. With your exhale, bend it. With your inhale, straightening, feel the outer right hip pull back and the heart reach forward. And exhale, bend. Give me 2 more of those. Keep the chest broad and keep a sense of lengthening from your pubic bone all the way up through the top of the sternum. But the shoulders stay away from the ears. Nice job. Place the hands down flat. Breathe in and step back to plank. And this is what we call vinyasa, right? And there's modifications. So we exhale lower. Maybe your knees are down. Maybe you come all the way down. Breathe in for cobra or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Stretch the hips up and back. Open the backs of the knees towards the back of the room. Breathe in deep through your nose. And then open your mouth inside out. Step your right foot a little more central. Keep that leg firm. Keep the left leg straight and flex. Inhale, lift from the inner thigh and stretch the whole left leg up. And then ground through the hands. Feel the roots of the hands growing down. Feel the upper arm squeeze towards your ears. Keep the front low ribs knitting in as the sides of your waist lengthen. And that lengthening continues all the way through your left heel. Take another inhale, get long, and then exhale, step all the way through. Squeeze the knee towards your chest and step. Bump the right foot out slightly again, so you have about hip distance apart between the width of your feet. Bend your back knee. Feel the feet squeeze together. Feel the sit bones squeeze together. Draw in at the belly and rise. So remember, hands could be on the hips here. Hands could be at your heart. Or for more cardio action, lift your arms into the air. Feet squeeze together. Sit bones squeeze together. Low front ribs knit into the body. Top of the chest lifts upwards in the direction of the fingers. And then with each exhale, we start to firm the front of the right thigh back. And we're not necessarily aiming for the goal of straightening the leg all the way. We're feeling the resistance of the front of the pelvis and the low belly lifting and the heart lifting to the thigh firming back, the front of the thigh firming back into the bone. And we're feeling our psoas here for sure. We're feeling the front of the thigh opening. We're feeling warm. We're feeling the heart beating. Okay, one more deep inhale, reaching up. And then exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Lower the back knee down. We're going to spin that back shin to be parallel with the back of the mat. So now you get to see it from the back. Sit down towards your heel with your sit bones. You might want to take your left foot and scoot it back a little bit, closing it up slightly. Take your left arm, put it on the inside of the knee, reach the fingertips out onto the floor, fan them out, and then breathe in and lift your right arm up. As you do this, feel the eyes of the elbows, the inside of the elbows, rotating up and out so the shoulder blades spin down the back. You stay long through the neck. The arms are reaching away from each other. The crown of the head is reaching up. Breathe into this space. Breathe into that left inner thigh. One more breath. Good. And then exhale. Take it back around. Two hands come to the inside of the left foot. The right foot spins back again. Two hands on the inside. Maybe two hands onto your block, right? If the floor is far away. Curl the back toes under and firm your back leg up and towards plank. With your inhale, straighten your left leg a little or a lot, so little or a lot, and pull the outer left hip back as your heart reaches forward. That's your inhale. Your exhale bends you into the knee. Breathe in, straightening. Exhale, bending. Keep going, breathing in. Breathing out. Feel the edges of the collarbones, the outer edges smiling upward. Feel the top of the sternum. Want to reach and shine forward the whole time that you're doing the movement. So one more time. Good. Bend into the knee. Plant your hands firm. Grow roots through the hands, nice and strong. Breathe in, step the left foot back. You're in plank. Take your vinyasa. Exhale, lower down slow. Breathe in, take the heart up. Exhale, take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good work. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, let your breath sigh out of your mouth this time. Maybe one or two more of those. Deep inhale. Exhale, let something go. Let go of some tension. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale, let go of a thought that is not serving you well. All right, guys, with the inhale, we'll step the left foot a little more central. Lift the right leg from the inner thigh, press back through the heel. And then exhale, squeeze the knee forward and step through. Spin the back heel down to the mat. Align your feet front heel to the middle of the back foot. Place your right forearm up onto your thigh and lift your left arm up. So side angle. Very good. So take this top hand down to your hip. And we're going to take our right hand and spin it forward. The palm is facing up. So we're being very light about the amount of weight we're putting down into the elbow. And we're staying really long from our back heel all the way up through the crown of the head. So feel the low ribs drawing in and the tailbone reaching towards the back heel as this back thigh stays firm. Okay, with your inhale, straighten your front leg any amount and reach your right arm forward. And then exhale, bend the knee and let the elbow and the knee kiss. Breathe in and extend and reach. Exhale, give it a kiss. Inhale, reach. Exhale, kiss. Keep grounded through your feet. Keep that connection to the floor. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, kiss. Good job. Look to the floor. Put both hands down to frame the right foot and spin the back heel up into the air. Now here's a nice place, if you feel very rounded to get to the floor, a wonderful place to put a block underneath your left hand. We're going to twist by lifting the right arm up and open. Feel the outer right hip pull back as the front of the left thigh stays firming up. So lift this left hip, the left side of your pelvis, up as high as the right. Don't let it sag down. Okay, keep it lifted. Keep the belly lifting away from the thigh. The arm is up. All right, turn the palm forward. And with your inhale, we're going to reach the arm forward as we straighten our right leg any amount. Outer right hip pulls back. And then exhale, turn the palm to face away from you. Bend both the elbow and the knee and squeeze. Get that right shoulder blade down your back. So you breathe in and straighten the right leg and reach the right arm forward. And then you exhale, find the bend in both the knee and the elbow. Inhale, reach, so it's the right elbow, right arm. Exhale, they bend. One more time, breathe in and reach. Exhale and bend. Good work. With your inhale, straighten it out and reach. Exhale, turn to the floor. Plant your hands and rebend your knee. Let's vinyasa. Breathe in, step back, plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, heart lifts. Keep your thighs firm if you're an up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nicely done. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open the mouth and side out. Right foot steps more central. With your inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Press through the heel. Get nice and long and tall. And then exhale, step through. So lift your right heel really high. Squeeze the knee forward. Lift your low back up so you make space to step through. Spin the back heel down, and we're lining up front heel to the middle of the back foot. We're going to bring our left elbow up onto the knee and lift our right arm straight up. So you may look out, you may look up. I'm going to look kind of down and back at you so you can hear me. I don't have one of those fancy microphones yet. Maybe I should get one. Okay, so back leg super firm. Take your top hand down towards the hip. Feel the sacrum and the tailbone lengthening towards the back heels. This thigh back here stays super firm. Now swivel your left hand platter out towards the front, same direction your knee is facing. Ground to your feet, draw gently up on the pelvic floor and low belly, and breathe in and straighten both the knee and the elbow, reach out. And then exhale, bend and let them kiss. Keep drawing the outer left hip underneath you. Inhale, reach, and exhale, bend. Feel the firmness of your feet and the grounding into the floor. Inhale, stretch up, reach. Exhale, kiss. One more time, breathe in, spin the heart up as you reach out. And exhale, kiss. Nice job. Take two hands down, one on either side of the left foot. Spin the back heel up. Okay? Bend deep into this front knee, and here's a nice place again for the block to go underneath the right hand. Feel this outer left hip. You might even take it with your hand and pull it back in space as you feel your sternum draw forward. Lift the right thigh back there up strongly so the sacrum is level here, so the hips are in line with one another. Take your left arm up, turn the left palm forward, and reach towards the front of your mat. Okay, breathe in like this, straighten the front leg any amount, and then exhale, bend both the elbow and the knee, pull back, shoulder blade way down your back, shoulder away from your ear. Breathe in, straighten and reach. Exhale, squeeze and pull. Back thigh staying super firm and straight. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach and stretch. Exhale, maybe you look up. Do it one more time, please. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, straighten and reach. Look down, plant your hands and rebend your knee. Put your block off to the side, plant your hands firm, breathe in, step back to plank. Now there's your vinyasa, or know that you can go right to down dog. So anytime I say vinyasa, you are very, very welcome to go right to downward facing dog. Take a breath in, and from the grounding your roots through your hands, ground down to lift up through the sit bones. Exhale, firm the tops of the thighs back in space. Breathe in and lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees and walk or hop to the top of the mat. Breathe in, take the heart forward. Feel the collarbones broaden. Exhale, fold down, let your head hang. Breathe in and rise to stand. Reach all the way up. Exhale, take your hands to your heart. All right, we're going to turn to face the side of the mat. So I'll face you. Step your feet open. And be generous. If we take our arms open in a T position, we would like our feet to be about where our wrists are. So fairly wide. Look at your feet. So you can take your hands to your hips. Look at your feet and turn the toes to face in towards one another just slightly. We call it pigeon toeing. So pigeon toe yourself just a little bit. Okay? Now, with your thumbs, they're on the back of the pelvis, one on either side of your sacrum, the set of fused vertebrae here above your tailbone. Use your thumbs to lengthen and draw this area down. But at the same time, firm the front of the thigh towards the back of the thigh. Firm the bones back here into the hamstrings so that you feel very neutral and upright in your legs and pelvis. You feel very grounded through your feet. Here you are in this moment, right? All right, squeeze your elbows behind you. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Simply feel very tall for one more breath. You guys are doing great. And then exhale, fold forward and bring your hands down onto the floor. Now breathe in and claw your fingertips on the floor to draw your sternum out in front of you. And then exhale, fold down, walking your hands back in space. And let your head come down. Okay, so some of you will be able to feel the crown of the head come down onto the floor, and that's very grounding. And others, if you have a block or a book or, oh gosh, a chair, if you're kind of up very high, you'll be able to take that prop and bring your head down onto your prop. So it's quite nice to let the head ground into something as if it were a fifth limb. So our two hands, our 2 feet are growing roots into the floor, and now the head is also allowed to connect. Feel as if the contents of the brain are relaxing down towards the top of the skull as the sit bones lift. Take another deep breath like this, enjoying that sense of release and grounding. And then breathe in and take your heart forward, draw up on your belly gently. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Could you hover halfway up? Pull the front of the pelvis up towards the low ribs. Squeeze your elbows towards the ceiling. Reach your heart forward and inhale, rise to stand. Nice work. Take your heels and turn them in more than your toes. Feel nice and tall through the sides of the waist. Breathe in and reach both arms up. And then exhale, we're going to bend both the elbows and the knees for goddess pose. Breathe in, reach the arms up, the palms will face each other. Feel like you have your thumbs on the back of the pelvis, drawing it down as your thighs stay safe and firm. And then exhale, bend into your knees and elbows. Breathe in, take the arms up. Exhale, fold in, bend in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bend. Good. One more time. Breathe in and lift. And then exhale, bend. We're going to hold for a moment here, cultivating some heat in the body. Place your hands together. Draw your shoulder blades back and down. Feel the tailbone reach to the floor. Your imaginary thumbs are drawing the sacrum towards the floor. As the inner knees press open towards the pinky toes. Peek at your feet. If your feet are not facing your knees, turn your feet forward until they are. Work a neutral pelvis, press the knees open, and grow roots down into the floor through your feet. You're being challenged, but you're strong and you're steady in your stance, and you know this will not go on forever. Sustain yourself with your deep breath as best you can. 2 more times, perhaps sinking slightly deeper, meeting yourself with great strength. And then press into the feet and inhale. Lift the arms, extend them open, and exhale, release the arms down. Heel toe the feet to hip distance apart. I had a fly there. Shake out the legs a little bit. Feet slightly wider than hip distance apart. Move that block out of the way. All right, now I invite you to call to mind any of those anxieties or nerves or stresses that most certainly you're feeling at least some during these times. Bring those up and we're going to shake them off with a little breath, okay? So bring a gentle bend into your knees, and as if you were flicking your hands like they were wet and you're flicking water off them, we're going to flick them away. You're going to inhale as we lift the arms up. You're going to exhale as they come down. So let's give it a try. Let the body be a little loose, a little bend in the knees. With your inhale, breathe in, flick, release, good. And exhale out. Good, do it again. Deep inhale, flicking open. Do so vigorously, don't be shy about this. Exhale, flick it down. Keep it, breathe out of the mouth. Do it again, deep inhale. Gather it up, exhale, release it out. Last one, guys, deep inhale. Exhale. Oh, good. Stand. Heel toe the feet so they are directly under the hips again. Lift tall through the crown of the head. Stack the body in a nice straight line. Feel your breath. Feel your vitality, your heart beating. Knowing in this moment you are alive and well. Gently blink open your eyes. We're going to come down to the floor for a little back bending. So step to the top of the mat. Stand tall, turn the palms open. With your inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs, let your head release down. Breathe in and drag your heart forward as your thighs firm back. Exhale, step back, plank pose, lowering slowly, chaturanga. Breathe in, lift up through your heart. Exhale, lift your hips. Good. Breathe in and come forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower to the mat. Knees could come down. Let's come all the way down to the mat, please. So, lift one foot at a time. And give it a little kick and stretch back as if somebody were pulling and yanking that leg out of the socket. Do the same with the left leg. Little lift, pull, yank. So the front of the thighs are feeling super long. So if you have a block, this is a nice place to use your block. If you don't, you can pretend that you have one there. Okay? So forehead down to the mat. Reach behind you and hold the block. I like to hold it widthwise. Right, so this way. Get your fingertips pressing into the block. Get a little bend into your elbows. Press your pubic bone down, so engage your core. Feel the low belly lift up above the pubic bone. Ground your fingers into your block, bend your elbows, and try to lift your block away from your sacrum. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Keep lifting, you got this. If you want a little more, inhale, lift from the inner thighs, legs float up, and chest floats forward. Trying to bend the elbows up Moving your shoulders away from your ears, engaging the back of the shoulders. If you're like me, it's burning now. One more inhale, and then exhale, release down. Good. Set the block off to the side. Turn your head to one side and rock your hips back and forth. Nice work. All right, again, put your forehead down to the mat. You might re-lengthen the legs out. Establish a strong core by pressing the pubic bone down, drawing the low belly up away from the mat. And now, this time, perhaps you could interlace your fingers together. You can pretend you have a block again, or even using a towel or a strap, but I didn't cue you to have that, so, press the pubic bone down, reach back to your toes, bend your elbows up, lift your shoulders away from the floor, lift the hands away, and then inhale, come up. Open your heart. Reach the sternum forward as the big toes reach back. Feel the elbows lifting. Feel the back of the heart pressing forward to the front. Make sure you're breathing. Another deep inhale. And exhale, release down. You turn your head to the other side. I'll turn mine this way again so I can talk to you. Rock your hips back and forth. Okay, one more to make it a set of 3, guys. So bend your knees. Have the same feeling of lengthening through the front of the thighs, so the top of the knee reaches back away from the pelvis. The pubic bone presses down, so the tailbone's lengthening towards the wall behind you. Bend your knees, reach back, hold on to your feet or outer ankles if you can catch them, and then give it a good kick back. Kick back through your legs. Let that lift your heart. Keep a strong kick going, opening the front of the body, cracking the heart open. Often we kind of hunch forward if we're feeling anxious or we're feeling closed off from the world or from others. So open your big heart, reach forward, breathe deep into the top of your chest, and then exhale, release down. Release your legs back. Turn your head to whichever side you like. Give your tail a little shake. And then take your hands next to your ribs, point your elbows up. Pull the shoulders back away from the ears. Draw up on your belly. With your breath in, rise to your hands and knees. Find your child's pose to round your back. Big toes together. Sit towards your heels. Rest your forehead down. Smooth out the breath. Breathe towards the low back. Slide your hands under your shoulders and gently round yourself up to sit. Awesome. So from here, guys, I'd like you to find some wall space in your house. So if you have to pause the video to go to a wall, we're going to take it to a wall for our last few postures. So find yourself a wall. Okay, you guys, we had a visitor wander in. This is Bob. He wanted to come in and practice yoga. I'm going to put him back out so we can continue. Bye, Bob. Okay, guys, so we're at a wall now. So we're going to have the opportunity to invert, to do a headstand. So I'm going to show you an alternative to actually going up the wall with your headstand. If you have a practice where you're very comfortable with headstanding, I invite you to do your headstand as you would normally do, whether you're in the middle of the room or at the wall. But with this video isn't a time to attempt your first headstand or to try it for the first few times. You want to be with a seasoned instructor that can help you with that in person. So save that for later and do this one, which is also very grounding and will teach you the components of a headstand and start to build strength in your body to be able to do it later. So I actually learned this pose from Annie Carpenter, so thank you, Annie. She's one of the inspirational teachers that I like to follow. Also trained in the Yoga Works method. So, okay, so you're going to face your wall. And I'm going to add a block to this, but it's not necessary. But if you would like to have a block, that's going to go between your inner thighs. And you're going to take your arms set up for your headstand. So you're going to bring your hands together and interlace your fingers. And then you're going to hide the bottom pinky finger behind the other pinky so that they are right next to each other instead of stacked on top of each other. And it's not a bad idea to alternate. Like you'll always want to put one pinky in front and the other behind. It's not a bad idea to alternate from day to day. So maybe today's the day where you switch it up on yourself. So hiding or making the pinkies flush with each other. You want to leave some space in your hands, right? So you're going to take the hands right next to the wall and take the elbows right underneath your shoulders. A nice way to measure your elbow distance is to grab hold of the middle of your upper arm and put your elbows on the floor. And that's about how far apart they should be. They should really be underneath the shoulders so you're very supported. So hands go down. Now if you have your block, you're going to kind of have to wiggle back. And we're going to take a forearm plank. So you're pressing down into your elbows. Curl your toes under. Firm the thighs. Now if you have your block, it's nice because you have something to hug into with your inner thighs. And you want your tailbone to reach down towards the block a bit. So you really feel the core turning on to support you in the pose. Now the crown of the head goes into the wall. Right at the very top of the head. Feel it gently ground into the wall and move your shoulders away from that sense of grounding and opposition. So your whole body feels long and strong. You're grounding deeply through the forearm from the elbow to the wrists. Gently grounding the very top, the crown of the head, into the wall and moving your shoulders away in the opposite direction. And then the body is firm in support of that work in the upper body so that inner thighs hug the block, the heels press back, the tailbone reaches towards the heels. Make sure you're breathing. We're using our whole body to do this very active grounding posture. Let's give it 2 or 3 more breaths. Shoulders away from ears, lots of room for your neck. Feel the crown of the head as that 5th appendage grounding into something. 2 arms, 2 feet, 1 head. 1 more breath, get long. And then exhale, lower to your knees. Walk your hands back. Whew, good work. Set the block off to the side. So if you were up in your headstand, gently bring your feet down. And let's all join each other in a child's pose. After working the arms like that, I like to bring my arms back next to my sides, hands by the feet. But if it feels better in your body to have your arms forward or even be up on your forearms in your child's pose, that's okay. Do what feels right for you. Couple more deep breaths. Feel the body rest down into the floor. Feel your body in this space breathing. Gently roll up to sit. And we'll take a downward facing dog. And I'm going to turn to face this way, but you can face the wall. I'm doing it so you can see me a little bit better. Take your hands open as wide as your mat. And now turn the fingertips to face open a little more than you usually would. Curl your toes under, take a deep inhale, and exhale, lift your hips up and back. Step your feet open as wide as your mat as well. Bring your pinky toes onto the floor beyond your mat. And as you press your hands, you grow the roots through the hands down and forward. Lift your hips up and back, and we want to let our head hang heavy. So we're using this to traction the neck. Feel the hands firm down. Could you spin the eyes of the elbows forward a bit to broaden into the upper back and let the head hang heavy? If you want to let it say yes a couple times and no, that might feel nice. Ears about in line with your biceps. One more breath here, sending the hips back. And then with your exhale, walk your hands and your feet together. Orient yourself to face the wall in a way that feels nice for you. So a little bit less of a smush in your forward fold will be to take the backs of your legs and your seat towards the wall and let your body hang forward. You might hold your elbows here. And again, you're letting your neck traction, you're letting it be long and the head heavy. Little bend in the knees is welcomed. Now for some of you, you might like to orient yourself with your toes facing forward. You let your head hang down, crawl forward until you feel your upper back, or maybe if you're very flexible, your middle back touch the wall. And when you get there, you can kind of lengthen the neck and crawl your upper back down. Firm the thighs slightly. But remember, we're trying to keep a really long, loose neck, so let the head hang. And then if you're comfortable, take your arms up the wall and reach your fingertips towards the ceiling so your shoulders move away from your ears and the head gets to be long. Stay grounded through your feet. Feel the roots of the feet growing down. Stay steady with your breathing. One more time. Good. Take your arms down to the floor. Now if you're backed up into the wall with your back like me, walk your feet back, back, back to come out of it. Everyone come down to your knees. Roll your shoulders a bit. And come into a comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit onto my blanket again. Sukhasana again. Crossing in the middle of the shins, letting your knees relax down. Roll the shoulders back in space. Feel long and tall through the spine. So we're going to do a bit of breath work called Nadi Shodhana and alternate nostril breathing, which is thought to be very balancing and grounding. So join me, please. So feel yourself grounded in your seat. Let your legs relax down as you get tall through the spine. And you're going to take your right hand up. So I guess I'll mirror you. Right hand up. And the peace sign fingers either will close down into the meat of the palm underneath the thumb, or you can take those peace sign fingers and place them right onto the point of the third eye. I like doing it that way, but if you can curl the fingers down and keep it there comfortably, that's kind of the traditional way to do it. So your thumb is on your right nostril, high up where the cartilage of the nose begins, not way down on the tip of that nostril, but higher up where it starts to flare out. And then the pinky finger is on the left. And you might think of lifting your elbow to feel the chest lifted broad and giving your lungs lots of space to breathe. So close your eyes and feel the breath flowing equally through both nostrils. Feel the breath come equally all the way in, both through left and right, and all the way out So keep your hand position. I need to switch to instruct you correctly. Close off the left nostril and start your new inhale through the right, all the way up to the top, all the way up to full. Close off that nostril, then open the left and breathe out. Inhale now through the left nostril, slow and steady. When you reach the top, gently close it. Spend a moment or two in fullness, and then open the right and breathe all the way out. Start again. Breathe in through the right nostril. Close. Hold. Open left and breathe out. Inhale through the left. Close. Hold. Gently, without strain. And open the right and breathe out. So continue in this way. And if my holds or my counts there were a little too long, please feel free to spend less time, shorten it up. If I was moving through it too quickly for your pace, then you can lengthen it out by all means. So finding a couple more rounds, alternating the nostrils that are taking in the breath. If you feel that this creates a feeling of anxiety or nervousness, I invite you to stop, place your hands on your lap, and continue breathing. Breathing through both nostrils if it was too much. So the way to end this breath is to breathe out of the right nostril. And then once that exhale exits through the right, you would remove your hand and breathe equally through both. So once you've lowered your hands, let your palms face down if you like to feel grounded towards the earth, towards the legs, and feel the breath come in equally through both nostrils. Feel it go out with the same pressure on both sides of the nose. And start to move the awareness of the breathing in a little bit closer towards the midline of the nose. So the septum, the inner edges of the nostrils, feel both the left and the right streams of air getting closer to one another when you breathe in. Let the exhale be soft and passive, letting the breath out. And start to feel like there's no separation in the nose. That cartilage in between does not exist, so you feel a steady, wide, smooth, deep breath coming in the nose as one, and moving out as one. Just one breath, guys. One breath at a time. Can you be with the inhale all the way in? Now is the next exhale. Breathe it out. One breath at a time.
gently blink open your eyes. And it's time for us to move into Shavasana. So we might move back to this wall setup, and there's a few things that you can do, of course. Since you're at the wall, you could do legs up the wall, which is very lovely and very relaxing. So you can use your blanket or no blanket. You would sit to one side with a hip close to the wall. Turn the opposite hip down into the floor and scoot your seat, your bottom, up against the wall as close as you can. Lay your torso out along your mat and carefully sweep your legs up the wall. And then once you get there, you can kind of dig your heels into the wall, lift your hips to even yourself out. Legs extend up, arms can come to a low V, or maybe hands on the belly to remind yourself that you're safe, or even cactus arms. Alternatively, if you're not going to take your legs up the wall, another way to experience your final rest of the wall is to put your feet onto the wall for Shavasana. So put your feet about hip distance apart, toes facing up. Let there be a bend in the knees, and then take it down. And make sure there's a little bend in your knees when you come down, and actually push your feet into the wall, lift your hips up, take your hands underneath your buttocks and smooth it, the top of the buttocks towards the bottom, towards the wall, and then firm your thighs so your legs go straight. But you've created this nice sense of lengthening through the low back, a broadening, and your feet are still very connected and pushing strongly into the wall passively without any effort on your part. Again, your hands can come onto your belly for a sense of grounding there. In the lower abdomen, a sense of knowing that you're safe, you're okay. Shoulders are away from the ears. You could even do your arms in cactus here if you want a little more opening. Let the whole physical body rest towards the floor. Feel the parts that are touching the floor. Feel the parts on top of that sinking towards that connection. So if you have plenty of time to spend here in your Shavasana, I encourage you to continue. I'm going to leave you here to rest, but I'm sending you my love and wishing you a wonderful day wherever you find yourself. Namaste.